at number 5, I'm going to go with a guy that I've been covering for the last 3 years with the Los Angeles Rams. Todd Gurley has a nasty exit out of the Los Angeles organization, ends up in Atlanta where he's not going to be the focal point of the offense. I'm really excited to see what Dirk Cutter and this Atlanta offense will do with Todd Gurley. He doesn't have to be the guy day in, day out, week in, week out. He has Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Matt Ryan. Really excited about that. At number 4, we're going to go to up north to the northeast, New England, and say Sony Michel. And the reason I say Sony Michel, okay, you played with Tom Brady, you've had all those different things, but as a running back, the one thing that every running back wants is a quarterback who can run and be a threat, and it takes a couple guys out of the box. I think Sony Michel, with the addition of Cam Newton, is definitely going to allow him to succeed and have a huge year. I can't wait to see how that works. At number 3, very simple, we're going to go to Chicago and have David Montgomery. And now, David Montgomery is known to break tackles since he's been at Iowa State. I just think that Matt Nagy is going to really commit to the running game, and that is all he needs. He needs opportunity. If you can give him the ball 15 to 20 times a game in different aspects of it, he'll definitely be more productive. Number 2, I love a running back with a chip on his shoulder. I don't care where you're going. If you have a chip on your shoulder, that's what it's all about. Melvin Gordon turned down money to go to the Denver Broncos so that he can play the Chargers twice. Who doesn't love that type of stuff? Don't at me if you have a problem with that. I love running backs with chips on their shoulders. And number 1, we're going to go to the desert. And it's Kenyan Drake. And we saw the way he came on late last season for the Arizona Cardinals, had a huge game in Seattle. We're seeing his highlights here. He could catch the ball out of the backfield, very explosive. He was actually a really good running back at the University of Alabama, just couldn't stay healthy. And it seems like now since he left Miami, goes to AZ, he's healthy. He has a renewed energy, and he's ready to roll. And I think with the addition of DeAndre Hopkins, less guys in the box, Kenyan Drake, my number 1 running back for 2020 breakout. So here we go. Tell me what you guys think. We're going to start with Kyle first. Kyle, what do you think?
Well, MJD, we're making all our Sade jokes about your shirt because that's what we do here. But really, that shirt is in reference to the Operation Game, where the gentleman is on the table and he's got all these maladies, water on the knee, and, Charlie horse. I worry about that with Todd Gurley. We're all rooting for Todd Gurley. He seems like a great guy and a great player, but he already has broken out years ago. The problem is that I feel like we've seen him break down. New atmosphere, new team, new everything. 32 starting running backs in the league. Why did you pick Todd Gurley as one of your top 5?
Well, I think Todd Gurley had a down year last year, and a lot of people felt like, hey, this guy won't be able to do what he did a couple years ago. And I'm not saying he's going to go for 2,000 all-purpose yards and those type of things, but I think Todd Gurley is going to show you guys and show the world that he still has the ability that he had in 2017 and 18. He just needs the opportunity. And sometimes, when you do get cut, that offseason becomes a little bit more important to you. And after watching all his IG stuff and social media and speaking with him, he's been working out every day with the likes of Cam Newton, Odell Beckham, Saquon Barkley, and they've been in the training room in LA competing. I think this is going to just be a really good year. Plus, any running back that has Julio Jones should go crazy. All right, Peter, what do you think?
Right.
All right, so you got David Montgomery there as a second-year running back who's going to have a breakout. I think he kind of disappointed last season. A lot of people, Bears fans especially, thought he was going to have some big year. Didn't happen. What about the Buffalo second-year running back, Devin Singletary, nicknamed the Motor? I know they got Zach Moss running back, but Frank Gore is no longer there. This is his rock to carry. Why didn't you include the 5'7" running back for Buffalo?
Well, you know what? It's so funny. I wanted to put him in there, and it was so close because he's one of the most elusive backs in the league. But when they went and drafted Zach Moss, it made me a little bit nervous because we know the Buffalo Bills, when it gets cold, they want to turn around and hand the ball off to a bigger, stronger back. And I think that's where Zach Moss is going to take some of those carries away from him. I went with David Montgomery because Matt Nagy has said that they need to be more focused on the running game and less with the Tariq Cohen like gadget plays. So I think the reason I went with David Montgomery is because with more opportunities, I think he'll be better. And then obviously with Singletary, when you draft a running back in the 3rd round of the likes of Zach Moss, who is a very talented runner, it becomes more of a running back by committee. My girl, Kim, what do you think? What do you think?
Well, First of all, if I may, on Singletary, he spent his entire rookie season watching and learning from every single thing Frank Gore did. And I think we could universally agree Devin Singletary is going to look back on that rookie year as a very pivotal time in his NFL career because Frank Gore is absolutely terrific. Now, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I would want Miles Sanders on that list, and not just because he's a Penn Stater. He had a really good rookie year for the Eagles, got better as the season went along. But forget about what I think, MJD, because you're the running back expert. When I talked to Saquon this offseason, well, first of all, it was a text. So I texted with Saquon this offseason. I asked him several questions. He ignored all of the questions about himself because that's Saquon Barkley. But when I asked about Miles Sanders, yes, the two worked out early this offseason together. They remain very close. They've always been close. They have some similarities, but some differences in their game. They're both 26. There you go. So when I asked Saquon specifically about Miles in his second season, he said this: he's going to be so much more explosive. That was good enough for me. This is a guy who gets a year under his belt in the NFL, can train as normally as you can in these times. And I'm looking for Miles Sanders to have a great year, JD.
Yeah, Kim, I really like Miles Sanders, what he's able to do. But it seemed like to me, the focal point of the Eagles offseason was about getting weapons around Carson Wentz, right? Adding speed at the receiver position, doing all these different things so that they can throw the ball. And we all know when an OC and a head coach, they start getting these fast receivers, they're going to take more shots down the field. And I just believe that as talented as Miles Sanders is in the way that he plays, they're going to be throwing the ball a lot more than what people think. And to me, it's just like, it's going to be hard for him to have a breakout season if they're trying to chuck the ball down the field to their first round pick out of TCU, Deshaun Jackson, excuse me. And a lot of these other players that they're getting in to add more speed to that team. So that's just why he didn't make the list. But I'm really excited because he is one of the more he's one of the more versatile younger players in this league. I'm excited to see what that Deuce Staley and Eagles offense would do with him.
Hey,
Miles Sanders, Motor Singletary, Todd Gurley, and of course, all of your guys that you listed, MJD, they're all bound to have great seasons. Hopefully we get to see that the whole way through.